All right, so we want to start this thing out first by just reviewing. So if you just pause this video up and work on the first, looks like 7 questions to see how you do. All right, so what we should remember is anytime we see +7, we put -7 on both sides. Again, the showing is the most important part. Getting the answer of 2 is automatic. But just make sure again that you show me that you subtracted 7, or show whoever your teacher is you subtracted 7 and brought down the 2. Whenever we have -2, we're supposed to put a +2 under it. Bring down our x. 3 + 2 is 5. Again, just making sure we have the showing part, which is really the most important part. Remember that this is 5 times x. What we do next is we show divided by 5, and therefore x is equal to 6. When you have x over 3 equals 5, that's where you multiply by 3, or sorry, it's x divided by 3. So we multiply both sides by 3, getting 15. You then get to the ones that are actually on our quiz this week and on your test next week, where you get rid of the plus first. 2x comes down with 4, because that's what 11 minus 7 is, and then you divide by 2 on both sides. Again, the key thing you want to be doing is figuring out what you're doing wrong or what you're doing is not supposed to be done and fixing it. That's why we have until Friday to kind of practice this. Same thing, move the -4 first by using +4, bring everything else down. Next, we're going to multiply both sides by 2 because that's x divided by 2, giving us the answer of x is equal to 10. And then on this one again, moving the 2 first, nothing else changes. You just got to make sure you bring down the -3x and the 9, and then remember this is -3 times x, so we just divide by -3. And again, the key idea here is that if the signs are different, that your answer is going to be negative. Since 9 divided by 3 is 3, it makes -3. And once again, feel free and be sure to pause this and copy this, whatever you need to study, because again, this is pretty much it. Also, don't forget this is worth 4 points. And as long as you know how to move that, copy, move, and you might mess up there, at least you get 3 out of the 4 points, which is really what it's about. So today we are going to add something new to what we're talking about. Remember I told you yesterday we're going to try to get 5 things, and I think we talked about 3 yesterday. So to do that, we're going to talk about this. X divided by 4. In order to get rid of that 4, we multiply by 4. These 2 4's cancel because there's one on top and one on bottom. X comes down with 8. On number 9, it's x divided by 3. So what we do is we multiply both sides by 3. A 3 on the top and bottom will cancel. 1 times 3 is 3. Same thing here. X divided by 2 is 6. Again, there's a 2 on the bottom, so we have to make it a habit that anytime that number is on the bottom, we multiply by that number to move it. And the reason we do that is because when you get to the fractional problems, which we see, you do not have to do the other stuff that we did, which is divide by the fraction. What we're going to do instead is get rid of the bottom number. How do you get rid of a bottom number? The same way we did everywhere else. We are going to multiply both sides by 2. Now pay attention to this, because here's the trick. Remember I said that a 2 on top and bottom cancel and everything else comes down, which means that 3 and x comes down, equaling 6 times 2, which is 12. And then you divide by 3 to get your final answer there. So again, we multiplied by 2 because a 2 on top and bottom goes away, which is why everything else went away except for 3 and x. And then we multiply that side like we're supposed to, and then we ended up with our answer there. So the same thing here, 2/5 x equals 4. Again, the first thing you want to do is get rid of that bottom number, which is a 5, by multiplying by 5. Again, keeping in mind that a 5 on top and a 5 on the bottom goes away. Bringing down everything else, which would be 2 and x. 5 times 4 then is 20. And from there you divide both sides by 2, getting x equals 10. All right. Same thing on the 4/3, x equals 8. Again, once you see this, think get rid of the bottom number first by multiplying by whatever is on the bottom. That's going to cause these 2 things to go away, bringing down 4 and x, 8 times 3 being 24. And then after that, we're going to divide by the 4, getting x equals 6. All right. So again, with that being the case, that's the main thing you want to know. It's just get rid of the bottom number first by multiplying, and then divide by whatever else is there. Again, when you bring that down, bring down the 2 and the x, just like you brought down the 3 and the x, just like you brought down the 4 and the x. So real quick, if you don't mind, pause the video, try the next 3 questions out to make sure you've at least got the right idea, and then that way you can kind of see where your weaknesses are. Alright, so we want to get rid of the 4, so we'll multiply both sides by 4. These two 4's go away. 3x comes down. 6 times 4 is 24. Then you divide by 3 on both sides, getting x is equal to 8. Same thing on 15. You want to get rid of that 3, so we multiply both sides by 3. The 3's go away because there's a 3 on top and bottom. 2 and x comes down with 12 because that's what 4 times 3 is. You then divide by 2, getting the answer of x equals 6. And then on 16, getting rid of that 2 on the bottom, again, we'll multiply by 2. Because there's a 2 on top and bottom, they both go away, bringing down 5x and 20. And then after that, we go ahead and we divide by 5 to get x equals 4. So again, that is your 4th type of problem, and we'll look at the 5th one tomorrow, as I think it'll be brought up, but that's your 4th type. So keep in mind, our goal for this week is to get a 5 out of 7 or 71% for that quiz. We've already completed 4 just right now. As of right now, tomorrow we're going to look at the 5th one. So just make sure you work to understand so that you can boost your grade as much as possible. I have explained a few times, and I'm pretty sure all teachers have told, that the first chapter is the toughest. The second chapter is probably the second easiest, because all it's asking you to do is just pretty much solve. So in terms of work, this might have hurt you, and that's fine. It hurts everybody. But as long as you're working to get this second chapter, you should be good. The third chapter is the easiest. So just kind of keep in mind, these next 2 chapters worth of work that you have is honestly where you can pass this class, or where you can get your grade back into passing, because remember that we're going to update your 3rd quarter grades. So if you look at your 3rd quarter grades and you look at your 2nd and 3rd chapter tests and quizzes, unless you have an 80% on them already, which most people who are doing this right now don't, they usually have 0s or they have like 10s and 20s. Your grade's going to go up a lot as long as you're doing what you need to do. So real quick, go ahead and pause the video once again. Work through these next 7 questions, 8 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 questions. Because again, you need to know what you do and don't remember. Check it out, see where your strengths are, see where your weaknesses are, and then unpause the video and let's walk through this together. First thing you want to do, subtract 4, then divide by 3. That's it. Again, move the added subtracted number first. So now we move the plus 2 by putting minus 2. We bring down everything else. We then get rid of the 5 by multiplying by 5. These 2 things go away, as we have learned, giving us 20. It's really repetitive. Here, first thing you do is add 1 to both sides, because that number goes first. Bring down your negative 5x and your 20. Remember, that's negative 5 times x. And so we divide by negative 5. Once again, the same rule. Negative 5 on top and bottom go away. 20 divided by negative 5. Remember that if the signs are different, that it's a negative 4. Then you're going to go through it one more time just to make sure you got it. 7x comes down. 17 minus 3 is 14. Divide by 7 on both sides, getting x is equal to 2. After that, same thing. Move your 2 first. X over 3 therefore equals 4. The 3 is on the bottom, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3, getting x is equal to 12. And that is all. So again, it's really straightforward. All you have to do is make sure you practice this stuff. Here we get rid of the minus 5 by putting plus 5. You bring down your negative 2x and your 8. You then divide by negative 2 on both sides. Again, 2 on top and bottom go away. 8 divided by negative 2. Remember that a positive divided by a negative is negative. And so 8 divided by 2 is 4, but the answer to that is actually -4. And then the last two that we're looking at are the ones from today where you want to get rid of the bottom number first by multiplying. 3 on top and 3 on the bottom go away, bringing down 2x and 18. After that, you go ahead and divide both sides by 2, getting the answer of x is equal to 9. And then the very last one, again, 2 is on the bottom, so we want to get rid of the 2 first by multiplying by 2. 2 on top and 2 on bottom goes away. 5x comes down with 20. You then go ahead and divide by 5, getting the answer of x is equal to 4. So with that said, like I said, make sure you practice on your Math Excel. Make sure you're working on trying to get this stuff down. I really think that this can make a big difference in a lot of your grades. Just make sure you make the most of it. Like I said, don't waste this opportunity. We are doing this so you don't have to repeat this whole year, which in most cases, the people who are doing this have failed every quarter, which means you're going to have to probably take this from August all the way through. But from what I know about the teachers that are doing this right now, if you pass this quarter, or if you can get your grade up to a D, then we actually give you credit all the way back throughout the whole year. So try to take advantage of that. There's not very often that you get that opportunity to get credit for 2 semesters just for doing 1 quarter of work. So try to make the most of it. Outside of that, I'll talk to you later, and good luck.